Hello YouTube, this is ChardarYuGiOh with a breakdown of the Master Duel meta played between Gold 5 and Diamond 5. I selected this range because I think this is the range that the majority of Master Duel players are going to find themselves in. If you're playing beyond Diamond 5 up through Diamond 1, you'll probably run into more high-tier decks. But that's a pretty intense time commitment, and it's not that I think most players are incapable of doing it. I just feel like it takes more time than is realistic for the majority of Master Duel players. I played Sword Soul Tenyi freshly on Master Duel for the entire range. I played 62 duels with a 75% win rate, which I think is pretty respectable, especially in a best of one format with some very unpredictable matchups. But what I thought was really interesting was I played against 33 unique decks. Sword Soul was by far the most popular deck. I played against 12 Sword Soul decks. Hero was next, probably because it's the most popular archetype like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like people who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Have heard of heroes. So I played against 6 hero decks. There was 5 unknown decks. Because Master Duel is a best of one and I'm playing a going first deck, there was a lot of situations where I would have a really good opening hand to set up a board and then my opponent would concede before I saw what they were playing. Played against 4 unknown decks, 5 Sky Striker, and then a pretty intense variety. We played against 3 Tri-Brigade decks and then 1 Tri-Brigade Despia, so that could be 3 or 4 depending on how you categorize Tri-Brigade. Tri-Brigade is weird because it hybridizes a lot, and so you can say you played against a bunch of different Tri-Brigade decks, but there's a lot of variation between what Tri-Brigade lists look like. For how I played, I only had one like completely unplayable brick hand. There were 2 games that were winnable, and then I made a really terrible play and threw the game away. And then I lost to Toons, but Toons opened just the absolute nuts against me. They had Macrocosmos, lose a turn, Card of Demise. Like, it was crazy. There was nothing I could do. Some takeaways from the grind. Phoenix Enforcer is everywhere, so have a plan to deal with Phoenix Enforcer, or you're probably going to lose. You can very often OTK through Max C, and back row decks were less common than before. So because Master Duel is a best of one format, it's really hard for players to main deck cards like Nibiru, which are only good against combo decks and will very often be dead. So in the TCG where you can side, you can bring in Nibiru when it's good, take it out when it's bad. But you can't do that on Master Duel. Because of that, you can really often OTK through Max C. So if your opponent has a Max C and you're capable of killing them, there's a lot of situations where it's correct to go for an OTK and just ignore the number of cards in your opponent's hand, because hand traps like Nibiru are less popular on Master Duel. And finally, the unique deck highlights. I already mentioned we played against Toons, we played against Ancient Warriors, and we lost to both. There's a really neat Incantation Nekroz Dogmatica deck that I enjoyed playing against. Despia, even without the new Albaz cards, was pretty popular. There's lots of Despia photons. I like photons. I think they're really cool. I have a friend that really likes photons. And we played against a really neat Kaiju deck. So there are people playing some very unique decks on Master Duel, and if you have the cards and you want to try, you have a cool idea for a deck, make sure you play it. You might have some success. So that is the breakdown of my Master Duel grind for the May season. If you have comments on things you would like to see that you're interested in from Master Duel grinds, let me know, and peace out, YouTube.